Catherine, it's great to meet you. Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Thanks for having me.
That's all right. It's been a pretty whirlwind year for you so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You've opened for pretty much everybody
Yeah,
recently.
I kind of like, so I text every time I see someone that I love come over, I'm like, is there any way I can possibly open for this? So I've kind of like forced myself upon every show I possibly can. I hope people aren't sick of me yet.
Yeah. It must be a great experience for you to kind of learn off all these people and their skill that they show on stage. It must be a great learning curve for you.
Yeah, especially because they're all people whose music that I love as well. So it's just like, even to get to like be there at that concert and then get to be the opener, it's like such a cool thing. Because like Kelsey Ballerini, that was like the coolest thing ever for me. I just have waited for her to come to the UK for ages. So to actually get to play that show and her be so nice was amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was at that show and
Yeah.
it was like you were just as excited about that show as anybody in the audience was. It was
know.
like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I walked in and she was sound checking and I was like, then she waved at me and I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. And then she like hugged me as soon as I got off stage and was like, that was amazing. And she was the nicest person ever. So.
That was an awesome gig. And everybody was singing the words to your songs, which is amazing. Like even the ones that haven't even been released yet. It's crazy.
Yeah, like the whole front row was just like people who knew the words and I was like, how is this possible? It's so crazy, especially because like whenever I put my songs out, I kind of feel like nobody knows who I am and nobody's going to listen. So the fact that like the people who have seen me have gone back and looked up those songs, even the ones that aren't out, is like, it's just the coolest thing ever.
And obviously the deal with Warner's helped you out quite a lot. So tell us about kind of that transition between going from an independent artist and being out there on your own to suddenly having a big team of people around you. It must be a big change.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, it doesn't really change the music that I want to do or what I want to put out. It's just kind of like, what it is like a team of people who are just as excited about my music as me. And they're like, they know what they're doing more than I do with like putting me on shows and marketing and stuff, so they know obviously, but I don't feel like it was like a massive change where I was suddenly like, oh, I'm doing different music or somebody else is controlling this. It's just like I get to like show people whenever I write a song and get their opinion on it, and it's kind of nice to just have people like reassure me that what I'm doing is a good thing and that other people are excited. So it's really nice to have that team of people and they're all so nice. And I kind of thought like record labels and managers were like big fat bald guys in suits who were really terrifying, and then I actually like signed a record deal and they're just normal people who just love music, and it's like, it's awesome. It's been so fun. So hopefully it'll stay like that.
And on stage you talk about when you were at school and kind of you were the only one that was into country music and nobody really got it, and that was me as well.
Yeah.
But when you go to C2C now, there's such a massive age range of people that appreciate the music, so why do you think it's become so accessible for so many?
I think like it's kind of just to do with the fact that people prejudge country a lot. I think people have this idea that country music is like weird hillbilly, like, I don't know, they have this like idea that country music is strictly Johnny Cash, and like I think people listen to Maren Morris and Sam Hunt and are kind of like, oh, I like this. And it's like when you present a song to somebody as a song, and when people have Spotify and can kind of listen to things without there being like that prejudgment thing, people are like, oh, this is actually just really good music. Is this what country music is? And I think it's just like there's this awareness now that country music is more than just one thing. There's a million types of country, and I think people are appreciating that. And I don't know, people like me and you forcing our friends to listen to it and being like, this is good, and then people are like, oh yeah, it is good. I don't know, it's kind of still that.
Yeah, and you've been to Nashville a few times doing writing trips, so I mean that must be a pretty intimidating thing, I would imagine, going from the UK where it's still a pretty niche genre to going over there where there's such a massive talent pool.
Yeah, it's like the most exciting and terrifying thing ever, because I'm kind of like, especially whenever I went over for the first time and it was writing with Liz Rose, I was like, oh, this is like my dream like songwriting thing. Like Liz Rose has written all my favorite songs, and then I was on my way to the session and I was like, what if she thinks I'm terrible? Like, what am I going to write about? Like, and it's so much pressure because those people are like incredible at songwriting. Everybody in Nashville songwrites. You get in an Uber and they're like a songwriter or a singer, and like everybody like lives and breathes that, and they're just so good at it. So it was intimidating because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be good enough. But then you get there and it's actually like, the songwriters don't make you feel like you're terrible. They kind of just pick out your best ideas and help you write the best songs. And it's the most fun thing ever, and it goes so quick. So Yeah, it's really fun.
I was going to ask you about writing with Liz Rose, because like at such a young age, how on earth do you even get into a room with Liz Rose? Because like you said, that must be a dream come true.
Yeah, I was just going to Nashville like for a fun trip with my auntie because I was dying to go, and my manager was like, "Do you want us to like email and set up some sessions for you over there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then so he texted me and was like, "Okay, we got you on with someone called Liz Rose," and I was like, what? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, they must have just sent her my music and been like, will you write with her? I don't really know how that worked, but I'm very grateful that it did, and she was so nice. And then I wrote with her again whenever I went back in February this year, so yeah, she's awesome.
And she's written so many hits, but what is it about her songwriting that just makes you go, wow? Because she's obviously got something very special about the way she writes.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like the Taylor Swift songs that she wrote those were the songs that made me fall in love with country music, and Taylor Swift is what made me get into country music in general. So like Liz Rose to me is that, like her songs are what made me discover this genre and love songwriting, because I love like the storytelling part of it, and that's what those songs are to me. So I don't know, I just idolize her for that reason, because that's just what I wanted to do. Like I heard those songs and I was like, this is awesome, this music is so good. So
let's talk about your new EP, starting from now, which is coming out June 9th, isn't it? So how long has that been kind of in the works?
Well, it's kind of, we're releasing songs every few weeks. So like we've released Just In Case, and we're about to release Never Wanna Fall in Love. And whenever all those songs are released, then that will be the finished EP. So Just In Case I wrote in October last year in Nashville, and it's out now. So it's kind of like just a collection of songs I've been writing over the past year, basically. It's weird because I've been kind of like, you write a song and then 6 months later people hear it and you're like, this song's so old, like, but to everybody else it's so new. So it's weird because it's like, I don't know, especially Never Wanna Fall in Love. I've been playing that live since I started playing live in general. It's one of the first songs that I wrote. So it's not new to me, but it's about to be new to loads of people. So I just hope everybody likes it.
Yeah. Who's been doing the production stuff on the EP?
Jimmy Robbins did some, possibly all of it. I'm trying to think now what songs were on it. On the first EP it was John Maguire and Rupert Christie. That was like my acoustic EP. And this one, Jimmy Robbins, Red Triangle. They're just like all the guys that I've kind of been writing with and helped me put the songs together, so they kind of know like what music I love and what sound I want, and it's been really good. They've been awesome.
And one song that you've been doing quite a lot on the road is Wild. It seems to have become a real fan favourite very quickly.
That's my favourite as well.
It's a great song.
I'm so glad everyone likes it.
And tell us about the story behind that one, because it's quite interesting.
Yeah, so that was about, there was this guy who broke up with his girlfriend after a 5-year relationship, and it was like 3 months after the breakup, and he would talk to me all the time and told me that he liked me, and they were meant to go see Coldplay together, and then obviously she cheated, so he took me. And he was like, I think she actually turned up in London the day of the concert, and he was like on the phone to her and texting her, and I was like, if you want me to leave, like and he was like, no, I want to be here with you, but he was like texting her. And that was kind of like the general thing with him. It was like the ex-girlfriend is like lurking in the corner. And so the day after the concert I wrote the song. I just was kind of on a rant, and Lindy wrote everything in her laptop, and then...
It's very honest, isn't it? Very
it's literally just, it is what it is. It was just kind of like me telling a story in the most basic way, and it's like, it's kind of worked.
People seem to love it anyway.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my, I just can't wait to put it out, so...
Yeah. And you've done a couple of little music videos as well, which are like really cool social media things. So is that something you really enjoy, getting involved in the creative side in terms of the music videos? Yeah,
well, that was just kind of like experimenting with little mini clips. Like I think I haven't done like an official music video yet, and I don't know when I will, but those were just so much fun. So I worked with like some guys who kind of, they were like, these are the ideas that we have, we want to like, for the Twitter one we're going to like have these little birds, and and they kind of like talked me through it, and I was like, okay. And so it was just weird because I was standing there in front of this green piece of paper in an empty room, like they're like, imagine the hearts and imagine this, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing? So it was just so much fun to try out. But yeah, I don't know, it was fun. It was just something I'd never done before, and I was like, yeah, this sounds cool.
And you've got a busy summer ahead of you, haven't you? You're doing Hyde Park with Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be really sunny and my family can come and we can make a day of it.
That would be an insane gig.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for the rest of the year?
Well, there's going to be festivals throughout the summer, and I've never really done a big festival before, so that's going to be really fun. And then hopefully like September, November, I'll put out more music. I haven't decided what exactly or when exactly, but around that time I want to put out more. I want to like get this EP out in June and then just like sing that, promote that and share that over all the festivals and over the summer. And then if people respond well to it, I want to put out more stuff like September, October and just go for it.
Well, best of luck with the release of the EP. I'm sure it will do amazingly well. And we will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers, Catherine.